Hi guys, I'm Mrs. Bales, and today we're going to be learning about how Jackie Robinson contributed to society and how his sportsmanship got him there. So, some of you may know the film 42, which stars Chadwick Boseman, and it's about how Jackie Robinson goes throughout his life facing prejudice and countless number of discriminatory factors, including racism. And it's a really good movie, so if you guys want to check it out after this lesson, it will teach you a lot of stuff about his life, and it will explain a lot of a picture I show you, a feature in the lesson, and some quotes that will make more sense. So today we have a couple assignments which I just listed, and it will fully help you understand more about how Jackie Robinson changed segregation through his sportsmanship and contributed to civil rights. But before we do that, we're going to talk about how our past lesson, which included Martin Luther King Jr., is similar and kind of different to Jackie Robinson. So, one way they are similar is they both are known for their civil rights. And one way they are different is Jackie Robinson was the first man in Major League Baseball, first black man in Major League Baseball, while Martin Luther King Jr. is more known for being the main leader of the civil rights movements in the 1960s. So, the two of them were actually friends in the 50s and 60s, and they only disagreed on certain subjects like war efforts. While, like we mentioned before yesterday in our lesson about Martin Luther King Jr., Martin Luther King Jr. did not support war. He's very well known for nonviolence, while Jackie Robinson, he's not a violent guy like Malcolm X, but he did support war because he thought it would get people somewhere, it would get things done, while Martin Luther King Jr. believed that was not the case. So what we're going to do first is look at a picture of Jackie Robinson with 3 of his white teammates, and I want the class to close your eyes and think of yourself in Jackie Robinson's perspective and how it might have made you feel, how prejudice might have gotten in the way of building teammate efforts like all the other white men could do on the team, how Jackie Robinson might have been an outcast, and that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to show you the picture, and you guys need to pair up and talk about what you think. So, this was Jackie Robinson, and these are 3 of his teammates. They're kind of all huddled up while Jackie Robinson's smiling, looking good for the camera. So, what does everybody think that Jackie Robinson is showing in this picture? I would say that Jackie Robinson is showing sportsmanship. He's very well known for his sportsmanship and how it got him through a lot of his days in the MLB and throughout the rest of his life with civil rights. So all of them, they might have not been on great terms with each other, but Jackie Robinson sat there, smiled for the camera, and he got along with everybody best he could. So it's very important to know how you feel in that situation, because it could be different from everybody, but being in the outcast in these situations is never a good thing. So he did his best with sportsmanship, which he did a very good job. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a Venn diagram. If you guys don't know what a Venn diagram is, it's when you do 2 overlapping circles. So the first one, you would just make a normal circle, and then in this one you would make a little line going right there, so it overlaps, and then complete the circle. So what this is for is we're going to make a compare and contrast, which is you're just noting the similarities and differences of 2 things or people. For this assignment, we're going to do Jackie Robinson, and we're going to do Martin Luther King Jr. And so on this side, for Jackie Robinson, in this one big circle, you're going to note the unique characteristics or thoughts he had that do not compare to Martin Luther King Jr. So everything that compares only to Jackie Robinson you put in this circle, and then the same goes for Martin Luther King Jr. in this circle. And in the middle kind of oval sharp edge circle, you're gonna put what applies to both of them. So if there's any similarities that contribute to both of the two people, you're gonna put it in the first one, in the middle. So for example, they both have similarities with civil rights, so you could just put civil rights there, or you can below that go into more detail of why civil rights is a key factor. And the differences is Jackie Robinson was known for being the first black man in Major League Baseball. You could do that, and ditto for Martin Luther King. So we're gonna do this assignment, and this is gonna be the ticket out of the door. So make sure you fill it up best you can. It's all about effort, and make sure you're thinking through what we have learned so far. So the next thing we're gonna do is look over 3 quotes, and I want you guys to look at this picture one more time and memorize we just learned what we felt about his sportsmanship, what he contributed to the team, being the first black man on the baseball team. And we're gonna go over 3 quotes that can make this more visual and have context around it. So the first one, we have it right here, it's kind of inverted, so I'm just gonna read it, is, "It would make everything I worked for meaningless if baseball is integrated but political parties were segregated." So for this one, people mostly think of Jackie Robinson in the context of baseball, but he retired in 1956, and after that he worked with civil rights, which is why he knew Martin Luther King Jr. in general. So he retired in 1956, which is right before civil rights movement really heated up. He devoted the rest of his life working with the movement in order for African Americans to gain more of their freedom. Even though they gained it almost 100 years ago, they still haven't gotten rid of prejudice and racism, systematic racism, all of it. So most people associate him with being the first black man in baseball and pro-league baseball. But it's important for us to know he contributed his life to civil rights out of baseball too, which he got really big into politics in which political parties, which you guys will learn in upcoming grades. We're not going to go into that. So the second quote we're going to go over is, "I have always fought for my principles and spoken out for my ideals." So Martin Luther King is very well known for, not Martin Luther King, Jackie Robinson is very well known for always sharing his thoughts no matter who did not agree with him. So although he had good sportsmanship throughout his career, he never went back on what he believed was right with segregation and civil rights. So even though he had good sportsmanship on the field, it did not stop him from speaking out against what he believes was civil rights and segregation. The last quote we're going to have today is, "I never believed in backing out just because things weren't the best they could be." So this goes in a lot with sportsmanship in the baseball league. So when he was on the field, it's very well known that people would shout slurs at him and just make their racism known. And he never backed down. He never let his attitude get the best of him. He always had a great sportsmanship, put a smile on his face, and that goes back up to this photo. He always put up with anything he could. So even if they weren't the best they could be, he stuck his ground, and he wanted to get further up in the league and make it possible for other black men to get where he was. So he had to be best behavior because he was pretty much representing every black man there was in the United States at that time. So this is the last thing we're gonna learn today, and all of this stuff is just proving how he contributed to civil rights and how his sportsmanship got him there. So we're gonna go more over stuff tomorrow, but for our ticket out the door, we're gonna do this. Make sure you guys have it all done, and make sure y'all know the key differences, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.